is a championship bout. Blink and you may lose sleep over it. As in blue, Namibia.
We talked about Zimbabwe's kick reception and we saw it in the semi-final. Namibia have done their homework and they've won the restart almost immediately.
Straight off the bat, the Sables in the white and green, looking to land a mark here. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed champions, and they have played with aplomb and swagger all throughout the tournament. A style that has earned them quite the notable droves of fans here in Uganda. Well, locked in here, and it's a chance to test those muscles, but as is with any scrum, it's not just the muscles, but the brain has to go along, and Namibia win that battle of wits and wills. They set the ball in motion. This is Cliven racing down the flank, trying to find some space to pop in. Swift transitions here from the Wilwiches. And Zimbabwe with a huge tackle.
Brandon Zekenyezi, it's open play, so he stays just on the other side of the contest in play, fixes his man, but you know, Namibia had the advantage of the scrum. Makes
the kick, and it counts. It's the first 3 points on the board. Ante, talking about showing up on the big day.
Zimbabwe need to work on their restarts. They need to work on that kick chase. And now maybe with the ball in the hand of Tapia Mafura, they have a first chance to strike, first meaningful possession.
Looking to race in Zimbabwe, and there comes Ian Pryor, or as is better known down in Harare, Sabuku.
Ooh.
Big kick to clear.
Another,
referee will call it back.
That's another heavy tackle from Brandon Zekenyezi. Should be him.
To feed that ball in. Locked in the scrum here. Quick release here for Zimbabwe. Try to race their way, trying to break things down here. Shall we? They lose possession there.
There's the number 8.
Once again. Tees himself up. And he gets it nailed. It is 3-all.
Top level. He strikes it so well. Ian Pryor hasn't looked like he was going to miss.
He's hardly put a foot wrong all tournament long. For the moment, he definitely would be a shoe-in contender for MVP of the entire tournament. He goes for it, looking for the split, and it does. A big 3-0. Definitely give you an edge to that. Once again, the Sables attempt to force the issue here. Question is, which one of these two teams will actually gain the first try in this game? Ian Pryor sets that ball in, looking for Tapua. Tapua tries to race forward, out on the flank.
It looked like a seatbelt tackle.
Setting it on, trying to break the lines here. Hefty Godfrey. Ooh, skipping away from one challenge, but the tackle holds true to the ankle. The ball ultimately was released by the referee. He is signaling that the Welwicher probably a little too enthusiastic, and will try to keep the points board ticking and stay in contention here against Namibia. It's for the kick. Ooh! It doesn't get any closer than that, but can Zimbabwe Sables turn that adversity to their advantage? Dariki sets the ball in motion, tries to grow that one through, still holding on to the ball, finally getting to the ground.
That was a good chase from Tino Tenda Mapesere.
Attempting to get this one moving on in motion, and once again Dariki sets it out onto the right, and quick move, a bit of flair, trying to break their way through here. Matthew McNabb is the man with the ball, eventually releasing it, and they are providing ample support. Tension, Nabs on the edge. This is sheer breaking point. Looking to pass, looking to break down the resolute defense here of Namibia. The unstoppable force meeting the insurmountable defense. Who will crack?
Takla not releasing, is it? They've given her a penalty now. Ian Pryor can level matters with ease.
And the kick is good.
Under that pressure.
For those that have been in these situations, it's normally called the weight of expectation. The entire nation watching on. Ooh, big tackle. And that sets the man to the ground. And in the meantime, they continue to chase and probe for advantage. The Sables now matching their flair with a bit of grit. And they could have a clean opening out here. Out on the flank. Quick run in. Ooh, brilliant pass, still maintaining and keeping the move alive. Godfrey nearly getting the opposition out of the way. Jason Fraser gets onto the ball, passes it on well through the center, and now they'll look to overload on the open side, but Namibia keeping a good eye on that. Play continues, still holding on. Dilian Utete.
That is the best sequence of play I've seen in the entire tournament. The Zimbabwe Sables, I expected them to kick it out into safety. They decided to run it on the short side.
Optimize it the best. And look at that for a big sit down. Ooh. Oh my. Whoever gave him the nickname, the Enforcer, definitely had a thing or two in mind as they get a chance here now to carry the ball forward. Good play from Matthews. Tries to set the ball on once again. Rolling forward, steaming their way through. Good side. Mashawi makes it a try. And the celebrations get underway in earnest from Harare to blow the final, the Rugby Africa Cup 2025.
That's a beautiful set play, but look at the support line by Kusai Mashawi. We mentioned his name. No sooner had we done that than he touched down under the uprights.
A number that is considered superstitiously bad for many. Zimbabwe will be very glad to see it on their scoreboard.
And so far, this is the stiffest challenge they have faced. I just want to see how quickly they will recover and get back level matters or perhaps ahead. Then we will know that it's a fair contest across the board.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There's no certainty of saying it's not your best as long as you get to put on the national jersey and stand for the national anthem. Then you are what the nation has to offer, and you have to put your body on the line.
Strong carry in there from Vian Conradi. But the tacklers do not release, and they give away another penalty for backshot. That's Simba Mandioma.
As they prepare to go into the kick, we do remind you, Omo are proud sponsors of the Rugby Africa Cup. And as the two teams battle it out here, he's apt to the job. Makes a kick. The flags come up, and the conversion. Set to motion. Hilton Mudariki gets it on once again to the Enforcer. Now this time breaking lines. It's a good play from Brandon Mudekenyezi as they try to carry the ball up front here, powering their way into the 22. The Sables. And that's a penalty awarded and a chance here to storm forward. Hilton Mudariki, the captain, leading by example.
Yeah, the defense was slow to retreat the 10-meter line, but then also
Ooh,
Hilton Mudariki.
And there's a yellow card here brandished at Namibia. Matthew to deliver the line in. Well picked up there. Matthew Mandioma has been excellent at the line outs. It's just those small elements, the tiny components of the game, the basics, and doing them right. And that's probably one of the key strengths that the Sables do have here. 24 minutes. They carry on with a chance here to get dangerously close to the try line. Namibia will now have to keep all their wits about them, because if there's one thing that the Zimbabwe Sables know how to do, is to grind out that defense and find a way to pop themselves over the try line. The ball is held out, looking to release, and the referee points out that, yep, it's held.
But Namibia have survived the first scare.
Big kick, trying to keep that ball within the playing surface, and now here comes Mafura. Releases that ball quick. Zimbabwe not holding on to that ball too long, just making sure they pass it and let the ball do what it does best. Brandon Mudekenyezi goes to the ground. Hildon Mudariki with a chance to restart quick. Gets it in motion. The support is there as always. The skipper now to Matthew Mandioma. Out onto the flank here. Tino skips away from one, dodges a second, dances his ways, making the Mandela National Stadium his personal dance floor. The applause of the fans there was music to his ears, but they have a job at hand. Ian Pryor plays the blind, releasing the ball. They have an opportunity, inching closer into the 22. Mudariki, once again, ooh, that will count as a knock-on. And the frustration, very evident there on Brandon Mudekenyezi as he thumps that clear. And so could be a good opportunity to make that count. Makes the kick. Top stuff, top tier stuff once again.
Field. That's why you see Andre van der Berger playing number 9 duties.
They continue to battle it, taking in move by move, looking to break the Grand Assault here as the ball is lost out. The referee deems possession in favor of Namibia. That infringement earlier, the advantage that was played, will be brought back, and there's a yellow card brandished here.
That should be Jason Fraser, the number 8. Slapped the ball down in the tackle, but also Zimbabwe. Now we get to see the full power line out from Namibia against a handicapped Zimbabwe pack, but the line out does not go to hand, and then it's lost forward by Dylan Utete.
Oh, what was that? Why was he spinning in mid-air with the ball? I have no clue. Somehow just spun in mid-air, didn't have anyone contesting him, and lost the ball.
Yeah, both teams a little bit too sloppy in this final. Handling error up on the blind side.
Zimbabwe locking in here. They're the only team in the tournament that have maintained the same props for all their games. The chance comes up here, looking to feed the ball in, battling their way through.
It's the captain, Prince Nkoseb. Almost out of nothing, he broke the first tackle. And if you need someone to stand up for your team, you need your leader. You know, look at him. Bumps off Kuzai Mashawi. You can bump off my players. I won't be having any of that. I'll score the try.
And that will be music to the ears of all those down at Walvis Bay, all those in Windhoek. Swankpomund will also be in celebration as Namibia prove that they are in this for the long haul. 16 apiece, game on. Sets it in, well picked up in there. Their number 4 now looking to get his way through. Looks like he led with the elbow there, but that won't count. Kudzai Mashawi, the enforcer, once again stomping the yard.
Not held, Muzekenyezi, so he can play on.
Hilton Mudariki, skipper, once again Azores calling the play, making it count, and now looking for the kick and chase and ball. Well, he had no choice there. Looks like was caught between a rock and a hard place. As we approach halftime, and the two teams will earn that break, but still locked at 16 apiece. We already did see one game going all the way to extra time earlier on, and sudden death.
That's why the final has started 45 minutes later than scheduled.
Fura skips away, gets past the halfway line, still has possession here for the Sables. Up to go out onto the left, skipping one. They seem to be able to contest that first challenge, breaking the line. But now this time, maybe I might have spoken too soon. The classic commentator's cast this time impeded. As they look to swing, nice dummy, gets past his marker and earns a few inches into enemy territory. Sables into the final lapses of this half, and Ian Pryor will put that into touch. No, not quite.
It's
calling the mark.
Hands of Andre van der Berger, his opposite number, who calls the mark, taps it, and will put it into touch. Still line out Zimbabwe, but that is good exit territory for Namibia. And now maybe Test Rugby will get a chance to play under the floodlights in Uganda.
The referee calls it time on the first 40 minutes, and there's nothing to split the two behemoths that are jousting for the opportunity to be crowned champions of the African continent. Both teams giving as good as they get and quite easily matching up to each other. They're kicking up to the tee, and both having a bit of disciplinary issues, having a player each sent to the sin bin. But as it stands, there's no separating them in the first 40 minutes, and it will be all to play for in the second half. Because as it is right now, halftime at the Rugby Africa Cup 2025 in the finals at the Mandela National Stadium in Kampala, it's the Zimbabwe Sables 16, Namibia Welvichers 16. Second half gets underway right here as Zimbabwe and Namibia get to tussle it out for another 40 minutes and maybe beyond if it stays as it was in the first half. Welcome back to the Mandela National Stadium. It is the Rugby Africa Cup 2025 grand finale. Zimbabwe takes on Namibia. Jermaine Egesa here with Ernest Akolebirunji as we anticipate 40 minutes to, according to the touch judge. Delivers it in good, and now using the maul here to try and advance their cause. The Sables here battling, heckled on here by their teammate who's held up high, trying to outwit Namibia, but it turned out to be flaky towards the end, going to the ground. They still have possession, an opportunity to advance, and right through the center, trying to battle their way through, but quickly contended with here by the Velvicha. The attack.
Been kicked out,
spills over,
and then lost forward. Zimbabweans not taking care of the ball at the breakdown, they kick it out, but Namibia not taking care of the same ball in hand and they lose it forward. You notice after that,
to nothing short of the Rugby World Cup. There'll be a chance for whoever loses this final in the repechage, but we get ahead of ourselves. Why talk about losing when both teams still have it at hand?
what an offload from Matthew McNabb to Tapiwa Mafura back in field. From the scrum, it was Tino Tenda Maveseri at number 8, and look at him clearing that breakdown. Advantage to Zimbabwe rather, and they will strike. Only just short, the Namibian defense holding on.
You might want to hold it for a moment here, just as Namibia also looking to hold out onto the defense. Matthew Mandioma repelled momentarily. That ball is shot backwards. Namibia still have a lot to do in terms of defending. Zimbabwe finally strike it.
I think it was the first attempt by Simba. Mandioma, that's the try. Nago gets a good shape on possession, grounds the ball. Yes, that's the one. If Simba's didn't count, Muzanagos will not be denied.
To extend the lead even further, goes for the kick. And this time, the execution, as it has been on numerous occasions.
Another heavy carry from Kuzai Mashawi, and I think Shaki Teron's day is over. He's still on the floor in pain. That was a heavy carry from Kuzai Mashawi's shoulder.
Muscles, yes.
Straight carry.
Enforcement.
It's like a shoulder to the side of the head.
Hilton Mudariki with the ball, fits it in. He's found himself quite the legion of fans, Hilton Mudariki, here in Uganda.
I mean, he's the captain. The media duties make him a bit more popular.
That's definitely a darling for many in the media as well.
He's still a good character. Always wearing a smile when speaking to fans and the media. But in this game, he's meaning business. You can see him grinding his teeth in every effort that he does. The pass, the carry, the kick, the tackle.
Big one. Nice reception from Ian Pryor. No time to rest on their laurels as skipping away from one, skipping away from a second, retaining possession here. Tapiwa is absolutely in his zone.
Tapiwa Mafura as elusive as ever, and look where that brings the Zimbabwe Sables inside the 22. What a line from
knock on
Aiden Barnett.
Fraser.
Aiden Barnett in the number 20 jersey was cutting a beautiful angled run, but the ball did not go to hand safely.
Now they'll have to build from deep once again. Looks like it will be their power bunny, Tapiwa Mafura. Started that off and gets them right back into the Welvicha territory.
I thought he had picked the wrong option. A bit too light jogging. You can see how much it has left a teammate on the floor. Brandon Mzekenyezi got a shoulder from the side, not expecting the contest in there. There was acres of space on the outside, and he's known to be a good runner in open space.
Hilton Mudariki prying that ball loose, and the box kick comes in, and now quickly setting themselves to chase that one. Smart play as Kuzai Mashawi was hounding whoever was going to get that ball.
Ball lost backwards by Richard Hadvik. Possession still in the hands of Namibia, and they will look to get out of that red zone. It's very dangerous territory for them to be playing.
Interestingly, I did see a fan earlier on in the day who should be less than 3 and was proudly clad in a Hardwick jersey. Must be a very, very big fan. Crunch time here for the Sables. As Namibia are out here looking to collect, but they'll have to first pry the ball from the hands of the Sables, and that's a touch. Zim protecting the ball. The ball is quickly picked up here, looking to advance. Burnett. Skipping away from a challenge there. Tino sets it onto the flank. The Sable still have possession, and there's a clean out through. Try time it is. Saw the moment, and Brandon Mzekenyeze wasted absolutely no time tearing through that defense. And finally, they begin to put a bit of a gulf between them, and he says that's what you get from back talking.
Brandon Mzekenyeze is a man who knows how to run his mouth, but he puts his money where his mouth is when he gets the chance on the ball. What a carry it is. Zimbabwe took off Kuzai Mashawa, and it looked like maybe the midfield was a bit weaker, but look at that carry from Brandon Mzekenyeze. Shifts the ball into the other hand, pins his ears back, and dives for the try line. A punch, a fist in the air from the general manager TJ. Maybe Zimbabwe are on their way to Australia.
Right in front of Moses. And a big kick here once again from Ian Pryor, as he has done one too many times often. Makes the conversion, sets up Zim for the big 3-0, and now it's a real chase that's going to take all the ability.
Double the points that they have. They need to respond quickly. The clock is now just at the hour mark, 20 minutes left to play. The way things are set up, I don't think we're going into extra time, but who knows.
And here they come, trying to respond in quick measure. Talk about a strike back, and bringing it right back to the heart of the enemy. Jason Neal returns, and returns with a bang.
The horses, the restart, going again and again to hurt the Sables. Jason Neal needs no second invitation, does the same thing as Mzekenyeze, pins his ears back. The midfielder at the wing, going all the way for the try. Zimbabwe, we mentioned it from kickoff, their restarts needed to be good, their resets rather. And Jason Neal has shown that it is far from over. It is far from over.
Big kick. Doesn't look like it will make the count. It doesn't. Ranking the Velvetians of Namibia, keeping the chess.
Wow, what a final. All eyes in international rugby are on the Mandela National Stadium in this beautiful pearl of Africa, our country called Uganda. These Southern African giants, Namibia and Zimbabwe, are putting on a masterpiece of a show. Isigaoke
carrying that ball inadvertently forward, but play allowed to carry on here as Namibia get possession. Now quickly assessing options, and they'll go for the kick. Strategically hoofed to the skies. Picked up here by Ian Pryor, who will waste no time dispatching the same.
He's looking for that grass behind the Namibian line, but unfortunately the bounce of the rugby ball is in his favor. It's going to be grounded in the in-goal area. In England, it's top quality rugby that these two teams have in their players.
Mafura receives, fakes the dummy. Seems to be his signature. Every time he picks the ball, fakes that dummy first, and then carries forward. Pick up now, brought to the ground. Hilton Mudariki sets it in motion. Nice pass, and once again, Tapua does the same thing again, and they fall for the trick once again.
Mafura is such a crafty man to defend. You don't know whether he's going to carry a pass or just dance around you.
Question is, he continues to lure them in, and the team is not sure. And here comes another attempt as well. Bruce Holston also fakes the dummy.
As a player off his feet at that breakdown, need to be careful not to give away a penalty.
Holding on to the ball, Mudariki releasing it quick. Ian Pryor, as always, goes to the boot.
It's charged, so it's open play for everyone. Good recovery from Namibia.
It's good play from Dan Kobaga. Carries the ball forward, now brought to the ground. Captain earlier on, having made a bit of play, the vice captain actually, or currently captain on the pitch since Prince Oseb was taken off.
Zimbabwe beginning to get on the wrong side of the referee, gives our penalty. Tino Tenda Mavesera, I thought that was a clear contest, got back on his feet, but the referee says he did not release. And guess what? Zimbabwe are marched 10 meters back for back chatting at the referee. That's a good introduction for Namibia for Tian.
Oh, look at that. That was picturestic. Do or die takes on a whole different meaning at this point for these two teams.
Line out not successful for Namibia, and the kick goes out into their own 22. Chasing it is Jagen Meyer. He's the first on the ball. He's being accompanied by Godfrey Muzanago. Now into open space. Ivan Lupsa for JC Nell against Matthew McNabb. Cuts back inside. JC Nell, what a force with ball in hand. Beautiful move of the ball through. And now it's the vice captain, Dan Kobaga, in open space.
Still has the ball. He's trying to beat several. Ooh, that was...
Seatbelt tackle, but referees say play on.
Still have possession. Brought to the ground. Jousting for the ball now. Both teams on it. Namibia have it once again, looking to advance their cause. Hefty pass, but it does the job outright. And now looking to breeze through. They need to make their defense, and they open up and part ways. Try time for Namibia.
And the smiles on the faces of the fans, including Joseph Owino. It looked like it was over, but Namibia saying, hold on, just hold on. Defense can be tiring. And Namibia know that with ball in hand, they can make the Zimbabweans pay. Off the bench, and a carry that brings them back into this game with 10 minutes left to play. The Vilvesha strike back against the Sabres.
The ancient Greek mythology speaks of the sons of the soils, or the sons of Gia, who would challenge all to a wrestling match. But the minute you drop them to the ground, they would definitely rise up renewed. Namibia are now sons of Gia, want back from a fight.
Conversion is successful as well, but you've got to give credit for that.
Here and now. 8 minutes left to play for in the Rugby Africa Cup 2025 final.
Contest from Zimbabwe, and they've won the ball back. It's the hooker Liam Larkan. And there's a Namibian player on the floor in pain. That is Andrew Cairns in the number 21 jersey. This forces Adrian Boysen to call for the mark. An easy take. Now he can restart with a kick out and up in the air. Or rather, the number 13, Lurumalan. Zimbabwe's kick receipt not the best, and you can see how close Namibia are back in their own area.
Namibia trooping forward in numbers and looking once again to execute the grand coup.
Tino Mavesera. Just forward.
Going for that ball. Both players here trying to get to it. But Namibia securing possession here.
They have the advantage as well for that handling error. Now the advantage is over. There goes the captain, Dan Kobaga.
For Zimbabwe, they'll have to be very careful. A drop kick here wouldn't be such a bad idea, so they'll need to keep their wits about them. The bounce allows the Sabres to pick the ball. Makes no mistake, clearing his lines here to make sure that they cut down on the pressure. But once again, a return in. Jagen Meyer carries it towards the 22. Namibia probably saving their best for the last and breezing in, breaking down the lines. Richard Hardwick still have possession, trying to quickly pick the ball and get moving here. Leroux Malan. Ball fumble dropped. Namibia getting a little too clumsy. The referee will have a say here.
Handling hasn't been the best in these phases, but
a real case of who has it, the will to edge themselves to glory.
Zimbabwe getting the edge in the scrum. It's available for Joubert to use. They've got the advantage, and then the full blast of the whistle. That change.
Handed the ball with just 4 minutes left to play.
Now, speaking of Ian Pryor, he's the only... So
it was a blood replacement.
So
he went off bleeding, comes back bandaged and ready to put in another shift.
Tino Mavesera loses the ball, but referee says backwards. Possession maintained by Zimbabwe.
Looking to grind here. Now it's bodies everywhere. And Matthew Mandioma has possession but finds it very difficult here to advance against Amand Brinik.
Zimbabwe looking to wear down the clock. Every phase taken slowly but steadily. Then they will box kick into the Namibia territory and try to pin them there for the remainder of the game. Penalty has gone against the Zimbabweans for obstruction at that box kick. And guess what? Tian Swanepoel is going for points from behind the halfway line. 52 meters, is it?
3 minutes. Could be a chance to snatch it at the death and make a grand haste here. Tian Swanepoel had a blistering game 1 where he had a 100 percentile from that boot. Came dangerously close, but just off the mark. And prayers and supplications to the heavens above for Namibia continue.
This should be the very last play. The clock is now well into the 79s. Ball has to stay on the playing field. Namibia have to maintain possession, and they know this. Zimbabwe are just 1 minute away from being the African champions, but most importantly 1 minute away from going to the Rugby World Cup in Australia come 2027. Nail-biting moments in this final. The local fans call it malaria time.
And right there, you understand why. Suspended animation here from the bench as they try to urge the team to stay calm. We're into the final 30 seconds of the game.
It's been turned over by Zimbabwe. They just have to hold possession. Carry all those PTs slowly but steadily towards the touchline. Put it into touch. And they will be African champions for the 3rd time.
It will be back-to-back. And it's been a very long time since we had a back-to-back champion here. Zimbabwe looking to assert their dominance. It's the Rugby Africa Cup. Fans cheering and chanting them on.
The clock is in the 80s, but it's been lost forward by Zimbabwe. One final shot for Namibia.
Drama. Let drama.
See Bruce Houston pointing to the scoreboard that the clock is over the 80, but the referee says one more shot, gentlemen. This is for Namibia to maintain the status quo. This is for Zimbabwe to add 2012 and 2024 to their Rugby Africa Cup Hall of Fame.
Unbeatable on stains, Platinum Credit, your financial solutions partner, and Rock Boom, the official energy.
Oh, there it is!
Full time, and it's done.
Zimbabwe.
The whistles, the cheers, the tears, the celebrations, it's all mingled in one. It's the moment they came to claim, and it's one they have definitely gained here.
Some of the players running onto the playing field, but it's not yet full time. Wait for that tap and then out. Then you can be champions. Paul Mente ensuring that you only have 15 on the field in the green and white. But it doesn't matter for those in the stands. It's tears of joy. They are going to Australia come 2027. Zimbabwe Sabres.
And will it be aptly so? The man that has definitely been in top ranking tonight, Ian Pryor, that puts the ball into touch, and the celebrations can now begin unfettered. It's the Sables who will be galloping their way to the World Cup, and a back-to-back trophy lift for them here at the Rugby Africa, successfully defending their title with aplomb and the weight of expectation, the delivery of the grand prize, and sticking to their guns. Definitely meant here for Namibia, ourselves as well at the Rugby World Cup, but that will be a fate that might be decided next week. For now, the celebrations will all belong to the Sables.
You can call them celebrations, but for these on the playing field, it's tears, it's relief. The Sables have gone to the World Cup. Look at the fans in the stands, some of whom are family to these players, some of whom have watched the hard work, have been a part of this journey. They've seen how much work has been put in. Peter Bernarde said some of these players had to be called from their local clubs. the ones playing internationally could only come in so late. Getting this squad together, working hard and ensuring that they kept it close for 2 years, a project they worked on since they lost that semi-final in France. They came here in Kampala, won the Africa Cup in 2024, and it was only just a warning. 2025 they are here and they've reached the top step.
Sacrifices made, bodies put on the line, the aches, the pains, the endless drills, the deliberations, the moments that have instilled and drilled perfection into their ranks, all paying off and culminating into the grand moment where they once again will write their names in the fabled history of African rugby folklore. Back-to-back champions, the Sables.
It's unbelievable for some of the fans. For those in management, it's an answered prayer. There's Edward Sigauke, won the Rugby Africa Under-20 Championship, the Bates Trophy in Nairobi back in 2022, has graduated to the senior squad, 9 caps to his name, and he is going to the World Cup.
Those 9 caps here definitely in them will also be one that is definitely the big one on the African continent. The ticket stamped. The prayers continue in earnest supplications to deities above for the good fortunes that have led them all the way to the grand prize, but proven they have everything it takes to stay the team that will be counted upon here. And now the celebrations will start because they know the 2027 Australia Men's World Cup definitely has their name and their ticket stamped in. As they get to pose behind that banner, it's all paying off. It's all coming to the fore. They are the champions. They will represent the African continent at the world showpiece for the grandest prize of them all. Rugby Africa. Albert Mensah, who takes a moment here to have a hearty shackle here with the skipper ahead of hoisting that trophy. Celebrations are on. Hilton Mudariki hosts it up. Celebrations for the Sables of Zimbabwe, champions of the Rugby Africa Cup 2025. Did it in 2024 right here at the Mandela National Stadium. Doing it again in grand celebration. And that is all they will write on the script. They came, they saw, they conquered. Congratulations to the Zimbabwe Sables, champions, Rugby Africa Cup 2025.